So now we've got just the last 15 minutes to wrap up with, first of all, a fantastic culmination of the academic enterprise, which is to recognise the amazing contributions that the presentation people made to the conference. Now, we had poster awards last night, but in terms of presentations, it was a different experience for me at a conference because it was actually Saeed Al-Sarawi, who's on the conference organising committee, who said, let's do short papers. And we weren't so sure, but he persuaded us that that would give us something really substantial before the conference, and there's a lot of engagement with those papers before the conference. It lifted our engagement during the conference, and also it means there's a real legacy after the conference that so many 36 short papers from presentations, plus another 4 from workshops, plus one more that's just about to go up on the panel discussion. So that contribution was absolutely huge and required a lot of early work by 36, 40, 41 groups. And we'd really like to acknowledge everyone who did that, because it's going to make a long-term legacy. But we can only give one Best Presentation Award. So it's not it's best present. So there's 2 awards. One's a Best Presentation, and then the Best Paper is not currently here at the moment. So I'll do that at another time over electronic medium, maybe Facebook. And so you noticed that I was popping in and out of every presentation, and I just got a sampling sense. But I based my judgment on the conceptual contribution to the whole conference to take us forward, and the audience engagement, the way that people were asking questions, the dynamism that was going on. So I basically just looked back over the program and looked for a presentation that probably really hit those key indicators. So I'd like to ask for our best presentation for IMELT, 11th to the 13th of December 2017 in Adelaide, National Wine Centre. I'd like to ask Sid and Dorothy to come up for their presentation on the Optimising Problem-Solving Pentagon. And come on up, Sid and Dorothy. I feel a bit bad because Sid actually is embarrassing us with he's actually kind of along with Raj won the international dance-off last night, so he's multi-talented. Great. So no, but fantastic work, fantastic contribution, Sid. Beautiful, Dorothy. Yes. But, Sid, did you want to say something and then Dorothy? Or?
Sure. I'd like to thank John very much for this opportunity. When he first asked me to speak, I was like, yeah, sure. I didn't see myself fitting into this group at all. I thought I wasn't qualified, or I didn't know any of the acronyms you guys have been dropping all the last 3 days. So I didn't think I would fit in here, but I really enjoyed it, and I appreciate that you're considering a student voice in this. I think it's really important. It's like you guys come up with so many fantastic ideas and adaptations of models, and that end part is to bring it down to students and implement it and see how we would react to it. So I appreciate that our voice is considered. So thank you very much.
So I want to make a slightly different thank you. I want to thanks, John. He did that without making a joke about short people. That's the first time. I want to give a personal thanks to Sid Shah. One of the very privileged things that happen when you get to work with an amazing group of tutors is that you get to know students at a level that you wish you could know all your students. So when this conference came up, I had every faith that any number of the tutors could present. But it was Sid that that we asked to present, and I'm so glad that we did. We put together a paper and a presentation at probably the busiest time in Sid's academic career, while he was finishing off his honours project at the end of the year, for which he and his team won the Best Mechanical Engineering Project Prize at Ingenuity. At the worst time of year for any educator, yes, examiners meeting, thank you very much. But we also put together, we finished off these presentations, both the written and the oral one, across 3 nations. Sid was in Adelaide, I was in Assam in India, and variously travelling through Singapore. The big vote of thanks goes to Sid, because I knew what he was capable of. And when he conceptualised the whole of the presentation based on the work that the tutors had been doing, I knew we were onto a winner. And then when I heard him for the first time articulate those ideas to the audience, I felt like a proud mother. So thank you very much, Sid. Thank you, the iMelt family, for giving us the opportunity to present.
Now, we've been a pretty small conference, which has been fantastic to get this sort of vibe and interaction, but there's still been a lot of people who have done an amazing amount of work. So I'd like to, first of all, thank the fantastic Wine Centre staff who've been kind of giving us all this food and resources, and fantastic. So thank you, Wine Centre, for being, and I think the most common comment I've heard the whole conference is, isn't this amazing? Isn't this fantastic being in the Wine Centre, and the staff great? So do pass that on to all the staff, how much people have really, really enjoyed being in this venue. We've also had an amazing support with the whole IT, and you know, the slides in all the sessions have just been scrolling through. Things have been there in the main entrance hall. The sound, everything has been just sort of really coming nicely together to make sure we don't even have to worry about that side of things. And if you don't have to worry about that side of things, that's a huge weight off your mind, and really helps a lot of other more academic things to take place. So you can't underrate that level of support from the IT and sound. So for Tom, and Marty, big round of applause for them. Now, for the next thanks, I'll need to get Phil to stand near the chair there. And what I want is all our great helpers who've been helping out during the conference to come on up, including the South Australian Corps, who's been all the volunteers and all the helpers. Come on up now. Yes. Come on, Anna. Come on, Ha. Come on, Ferdy. Do I have to call everyone's name? Come on up. South Australian Corps have been huge helpers. A lot of our students. Those of you who've been to RSD symposiums, like Monash hosted the first one in 2012. Does anyone remember what the thank you gift was in 2012? Besides Lynn. Was anyone else there besides Lynn? Oh, well, that's interesting. Okay, Lynn, hit us. What was the thank you gift in 2012? Yes, pomegranate. And then in 2014, we had a symposium at Adelaide, focusing more on undergraduate as well. And that was a nice orange mango. And then 2015, we had the Masterly RSD Symposium. And that was like quasi-yellow, but it was a coconut. Partly because we had this big South Pacific contingent, and it was kind of yellow-brown, you know. So now, do you see the trend? Can you see any pattern in that? Does anyone want to hazard a guess about what the next thing might be? Well, don't turn around to all the helpers. Keep facing that way. Does anyone want to have a guess what the next thank you gift might be? Durian? Why could it be durian? Yeah, heading to Malaysia next. And what other reasons? What's the sequence that we're following with the thank you gifts? What's the sequence? Sorry? Why is the next one green? It's the colours. We had red, orange, yellow, green. Now, so I went to the fruit market and I was amazed that these things are weapons. I thought, gee, our international guests are going to get arrested because this is like a mace. I hadn't actually bought a fresh one before. So I thought, if we're going to give durians out, we're going to lose about 4 or 5 people to international police or something like that. There's going to be terrorist alert, and probably even if we wanted to have another IMELT, there wouldn't be able to be one because it'd be a terrorist alert. So we're not going to do durian. We're going to do a slight modification on the theme. We've got a green thing that you've been looking at for 3 days, and it's not quite fruit. But Phil, we're going to ask Phil Levy to present our big thank you gift to all our helpers, and then we'll give them all a round of applause. It's okay, Phil, I'll bring them to you. It will become fruit. Do you know what this is?
That one? No.
Yeah, sure, why not? It's like a rose bunch.
I'll wear it close to my heart.
Yep. Now we also need our keynotes to come back up. So they've already had their thank you. There are unofficial thank you gift, but this is the official thank you.
Thank you.
So, do you can stay there, that's fine. Anywhere you like. Yes.
And this is going to be on Facebook, right?
Now you've got to hold it. This is a big round of applause for our helpers. Fantastic. I would also like to recognise the chairs, but there wasn't enough artichokes, so I bought out the whole Central Market. So I won't try to give chairs an artichoke, but we can have all the chairs who are still here to stand up chairs. Please stand up. But keep the whole academic program moving on, and timing people and keeping them to time is a little bit arduous. I find it a little bit stressful myself, so you didn't see me chairing. So I really do appreciate the work the chairs did. Gito.
John, you forgot the most important question, and that is JD STEM STEM.
I'm glad you mentioned that, Gito, because what we've got is some special thank yous. So first of all, I'd like to, where's Lee? Could you come up, please? And who's Said, organising committee? Where's Lynn? And I think Nyana had to go. Is that right? I think so. Come up. Just go in front, Lee. Go frontwards. Yeah, shit. That's right. So just go a bit further over. Come on in. So the conference organising committee includes Nyana. Unfortunately, she's not here. But you've already heard that we started meeting a ridiculous amount of time ago. And they did so much hard work from like July, August. We actually met with Mick August last year. Where's Mick? We're just discussing that. It was August last year. That's right. Phil booked him to come December last year. She said, "Oh, good. You're coming to IMEL 2016. I'll get you to do some things as well." That's right, isn't it? We said, "No, 2017. Check the email." Anyway. So the organising committee, with Naona, Said, Lynn and myself have been, working for a long time to kind of build up to this, and we gave advance warning, and you heard that we had to change the dates and stuff like that, because Lee became an integral part of that whole team, doing all this event management. So I'll start with Lee. You've done a fantastic job. Yeah. And Lynn, we've got a baby Granger St. Henri for your hard work. Fantastic. I thought this would be really good for your whole family.
Yes, sir.
The current circumstances. So, and like I said, suggested the short papers, and which he made us take some risks, and coming from an engineering perspective was a little bit different, and that was really good to consider. So you're kind of thinking outside of our own loops. Fantastic, Steve. Irene's had a long-term involvement with the RSD, and she's just come back from Korea. She landed from Korea, and then we saw you that afternoon, didn't we? Yeah, that's right. So, but Irene, some of you might have known from years ago in terms of RSD things, and been doing so much. So I think I could safely entrust you. Look, and we've got a presentation plate at the moment. I'm not sure if we own this or not, but I'd like to acknowledge all the work that you do with this great symbol of. I really, along with Joe, is actually working for the next week or so, and we're having to get a lot of the videos up before Christmas, if at all possible. So all your hard work in terms of the Word documents or PDFs are there for the short papers and the abstracts. The videos have already got a site next to it to go up, so we can really thank you almost in advance for all the work you're going to do in the next week or so, Irene. So that'd be fantastic. Now, one of the standout things that kept on happening was people kept on saying, "Oh, who's this Joe Miller? Like, who is this man sending us all these feedback comments?" We've already had a peer review, so two, but almost everyone had 3 peer reviewers and responding to the peer review. And suddenly, like about 6 weeks later, they get this email with this peer reviewed document that you'd all improved, and suddenly get an email saying, actually, there's all these changes, all these big picture things and minutiae and sort of fussy details to really improve papers. And Joe is also our cameraman today. So Joe, you coming up? So Joe has been, again, in long-term involvement, done a lot of work on the website over years and years. Now, done a lot of work in getting your stuff up, because the content is yours, it's ours. We're all sharing it, and we really appreciate your sharing of your own intellectual property, because that's what it's all about. We're trying to share as much as possible. What Joe's done up to the conference was to really lift the level of that public communication. So when we look back at it in 2 years' time, we continue to be proud of it, because Joe did a lot of work. A lot of you know how much he did to feedback, and also often went through several processes of editing and proofing. So we've got a thank you gift to Joe for amazing editing for IMEL 2017. And the book is called Our Iceberg is Melting. And it's changing and succeeding under any conditions. And Joe's very good at adapting. I mentioned last night that he's actually been scamming scammers and getting all sorts of crazy emails back from them. And he's actually putting it all into a book and going to be eventually publishing that. But before you publish your book, you might be wanting to this, Joe. So thanks so much. So there'll be people who I haven't really thanked that really deserve it.
Sorry, John, I have to say something. There is someone you haven't thanked, John, and that's someone who's created a lot of magic over the past decade, and especially in the past 3 years. I think everyone will agree that thank you, John.
fun, hasn't it? But I think we could safely say that as you wander away, you'll take a lot with you, a lot of memories of interaction. Try to keep that going as much as you can with your own networks and Facebook. If you could stay now, and now it's time to not melt, to chill and crystallise as much as you can when it's 37 outside. There are picnic rugs. There's afternoon tea there. That's right, Lee. And then I'm going to go and buy a wine. So there's wine there, but there's also afternoon, there's coffee and stuff there. But sort of chill out, relax if you can. If you can't, come and say goodbye. So I'd now like to pronounce I Melt 2017. Oh, sorry, quick notice from Gito. Gito, one quick message from Gito. I think this is important. Come on.
Shall I say
Sorry,
something?
this is a big announcement. I've got to...
I will let Shai announce it. Don't mind. Yeah, okay.
Sorry, I do apologise. I just left them off the list. But come here and we'll turn on the mic. So could you tell us as briefly as possible with excitement and power, what's your announcement?
Okay. Since we are here, I've been experiencing some high temperatures, so I thought why not get you guys to come and experience the high temperatures in the tropical island country of Fiji. So next year, during our 50th anniversary celebration, we are also thinking of running an RSD symposium called Pacific People's Research Skills. It's very Pacific-centric, but we are also getting international speakers to come in and have a look at how we've been running our RSD program and also give your, share your ideas on your experiences. Next year, early next year, before the symposium, we hope to complete an external review of the RSD implementation. So there are quite a lot of things that we would be discussing, and we'd hold on to that information until the symposium. So you have to find a way to be there in August on the 29th and 30th of August next year, sorry. And on the next day, we hope to have an excursion out of Suva. So it's not just a symposium and academic walk, it's also some beaches and seaside walk. So we hope to see you then.
Great, thank you. Thanks, beautiful. So don't forget to go, please consider doing the evaluation, link on the front page. Be really helpful for us and for us all. And I'll bid you adieu, or hopefully stick around. So thank you very much.